FlipSide, Vicky James. Hey guys, welcome to today's episode of FlipSide, the show where we step beyond the spotlight to uncover the unexpected, untold, and unforgettable sides of your favorite celebrities. Today, we're flipping the lens to none other than Vicky James. You know her as the designer behind some of the most stunning red carpet moments, but there's more. From her roots in Ajegunle to her runway dominance, from singing gospel to serving intentional meals at home, Vicky James is a full-on force of faith, fashion, and family. This is the story behind the style. This is the flip side of Vicky James. Act 1. Roots and Design. Vicky James was born in Akwa Ibom, but it was in Ajegunle, a bustling suburb of Lagos, that her dreams began to take shape. Raised in a home where creativity was survival and expression, she grew up watching her mother work tirelessly as a local tailor. Machines and the smell of fabric would one day become the soundtrack of her life. She enrolled in the University of Uyo to study Biochemistry, a dream that was noble but not quite hers. The lectures didn't ignite her soul. The lab coats didn't feel like home. She wrestled with that reality until she chose a different path, a return to artistry. She left the university and went back to her mother's living room, not in defeat, but in fierce determination. There, she began designing clothes, not just clothes, but statements. Her designs fused elegance with drama, African roots with global appeal. She was bold, opting for exaggerated silhouettes, clean finishings, and pieces that spoke louder than words. Within a few short years, what began on a single sewing machine became a thriving business. Her name spread, first among friends, then across Lagos, and soon beyond Nigeria. She dressed celebrities, brides, icons. Her designs were won at the AMVCAs, celebrated at the Future Awards, and showcased on runways and red carpets alike. But for Vicky, fashion was never just about glamour. It was about storytelling. Every garment was a reflection of identity, hers and the women she dressed. She believed in making women feel powerful, radiant, worthy, and with every stitch, she honored her humble beginnings. Act 2. Flip side. Though Vicky's hands worked with fabric, her heart belonged to something deeper. Faith. At the core of everything she does is her belief in God, and this spiritual foundation has not only shaped her values, but elevated her voice literally. In 2023, she released her debut gospel single, Nothing Less, a song that reflected her journey, her surrender, her gratitude. It wasn't a career shift, it was an unveiling of another gift she had long carried. That same year, she launched Zion Worship, a monthly worship experience that brought together young believers for nights of praise, healing, and divine encounter. For Vicky, faith is not a separate chapter in her life, it is the ink that writes every line. It's in the way she treats her staff, how she prays before every lunch, how she gives God glory after every achievement. It's in the way she balances ambition with humility. Even her designs carry that divine thread. Modest, yet regal. Bold, yet graceful. She channels inspiration that she says comes not just from mood boards, but from above. Act 3. Flip side 2. Behind the glam, the accolades, and the Instagram reels is a woman devoted to the quiet beauty of home. Vicky James is not just a fashion icon. She's a wife, a homemaker, and a firm believer in showing love through service. In one moment that went viral, Vicky cooked 5 full meals in under 4 hours for her husband, Femi, before his trip. It wasn't a publicity stunt. It was a love language in motion. From catfish pepper soup to palm oil rice, the dishes weren't just meals. They were messages that said, I see you, I honor you, I'm here for you. Her fans called her intentional. She called it ordinary. But in truth, there's nothing ordinary about pouring such care into the people you love, especially while juggling multiple businesses. Cooking for Vicky is therapy, a way to slow down, a way to reconnect. The kitchen is her sanctuary, just as the studio is her canvas and the church her altar. And a marriage, it's a partnership rooted in respect, faith, and fun. She and Femi laugh often, they pray together, they dream together, and in a world where celebrity unions often unravel, theirs feels refreshingly grounded. Act 4, FlipSide 3. Beyond the talent is a tactician. Vic is not just an artist, she is a CEO. With a growing team of over 30 staff members, she's built an empire where creativity meets structure. Her fashion house isn't just a space for sewing, it's a hub for mentorship, innovation, and collaboration. Every apprentice is a seed, every masterclass a legacy. She has launched gifting services, hosted workshops, and designed with the next generation in mind. She's intentional about passing on her knowledge, especially to young women who look like her, come from where she came from, and dream as she once did. Her entrepreneurship isn't loud, it's strategic. Quietly, she has created a business model that employs dozens, inspires thousands, and generates impact beyond fashion. She is teaching the world that luxury doesn't have to come from abroad, that African excellence is not a trend, it's a movement. And through her mentorship, she's building an ecosystem that will outlive her. An ecosystem of empowered creators, bold, brilliant, and unapologetically African. Vicky James is just 30, and already she's lived many lives. Student, tailor, designer, worshipper, wife, mentor, CEO. She has turned pain into power, purpose into profession, and talent into testament. And yet, she's only getting started. She is not just making clothes, she's making culture. She's not just singing songs, she's shifting spirits. She's not just building a brand, she's building bridges between fashion and faith, between excellence and humility, between ambition and intention. In a world that often asks women to choose, Vicky chose everything, and she's carrying it all with grace. The future, it's wide open, and whatever it holds, one thing is clear: Vicky James will continue to show up bold, beautiful, and blessed. And that brings us to the end of today's episode on FlipSide. Don't forget to follow us for more stories and behind-the-scenes moments. On Instagram at official HipTV, on Facebook at HipTV, on X, formerly Twitter, at HipTV, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, HipTV. See you next time on FlipSide.